I'm Bruce Marshall, and this is the Brampton Now update for the week ending the September 26th, 27th weekend 2020, the first weekend of fall. This is a succinct, once-a-week hotshot of everything important that has happened in Brampton the previous week and what's coming up. Brampton, unbought and unbiased. Coming up, Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Lawrence Loh, has some concerns about the numbers. And the province does a dramatic about-turn on gathering numbers, particularly at bars and such. And my Marshall rant about being in this COVID thing for the long haul. Details on that and more coming up in this Brampton Now update. The top stories this week in Brampton. Peel's Chief Medical Officer of Health is seeing some disturbing trends that bear watching. These could be the hallmarks of a second wave. Dr. Lawrence Loh.
In the past couple weeks, we have seen our average contacts per case rise from 5 to about 30. This means more complex investigations, higher risk of transmission, and it also means that precautions are clearly not being followed. Now that we are seeing a resurgence in our community, we need to fix this. We're not in a second wave yet because we can still trace most of these cases back to a known exposure or source. However, I continue to watch our hospital capacity and death rates carefully for any spike that might come in the next few weeks.
Dr. Loh went on to say,
"It feels like we're so close to something better left unknown. And so while we're working hard to hold the line, we need your help to stop transmission in the first instance. Doing so means we won't have to contact trace you, and you'll keep you and your loved ones safe. Remember that in pandemic times, less is more. The recent rollback on social gatherings, while disappointing for some, is a good start. And as you are able, I encourage all of you to consider shrinking your bubbles even further to your immediate household, your family, your essential supports."
Banquet halls continue to be a problem with respect to abiding by the rules. Mayor Brown.
I flagged yesterday, and I hope the province looks at, is better regulation of banquet halls. There continues to be a number of large events at banquet halls, and I think we need some tougher rules when it comes to banquet halls.
Mayor Brown also says that gatherings that attract the bylaw enforcement officers are becoming fewer.
We had officers attend 89 social gatherings in Brampton, but only 6 resulted in charges. The vast majority were all under the 25-person limit, and for the 6 social gatherings, none of them were large gatherings. They were all slightly over the new provincial limit of 25 people outdoors, and so we're seeing wide compliance, which is encouraging. For me, that sends a message that the public understands the gravity of COVID-19.
Mayor Brown went on to talk about how Brampton went into the pandemic with less health care than other areas of Ontario. In fact, Brown is considering calling a health care emergency for Brampton.
I'd also note that we went into this pandemic with less healthcare supports. The provincial average for beds is 2.19 beds per 1,000 people. Brampton has less than 1 bed per 1,000. The per capita funding in Ontario is $1,900 of healthcare dollars per resident. In Brampton, it's only $900. And so because of growth, Brampton, we really haven't seen our healthcare infrastructure catch up.
In a moment, Peel's Chief Medical Officer of Health with details on the contact tracing that the health department's investigators have been undertaking. That's ahead on Brampton Now Update.
This is your invitation to go beyond sightseeing, to engage in our traditions. Come experience something new, yet centuries old, and give in to your sense of adventure. Experience our country's history and heritage. Discover your authentic Indigenous experience at indigenoustourism.ca.
This is the Brampton Now Update. I'm Bruce Marshall. Dr. Lawrence Loh spent some time at the city's weekly press conference talking about contact tracing.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about the diligent investigative work of our pandemic response team. Since January, and after the arrival of Peel's first case in March. Their efforts have helped to limit the impacts of COVID-19 on our community, to understand transmission, and to keep all of you informed. The team are unsung heroes that have gone above and beyond, stopping transmission in the community where it happens and keeping COVID as best they can out of congregate settings, schools, and our healthcare system. Of the nearly 9,000 cases that they have investigated in the region of Peel, they have identified the source of that acquisition in 85% of our closed cases. In each of those cases, they have strived to answer 3 questions. First, who is the case and how are they doing? Secondly, who might have been exposed and needs to isolate? And thirdly, from where did the case acquire the disease? This is building out a chain of transmission and is essential to stopping spread.
At the September 16th Brampton City Council meeting, Council extended the city's bylaws dealing with masks and physical distancing to the end of January 2021. Violating the bylaw can cost a fine from $500 to $100,000. Real estate website 𝗕𝗿𝗺cie is reporting record selling prices for the GTA for August, including Brampton. Despite the pandemic and the lockdown, real estate prices are up. The average detached home in Brampton is now going for just less than $1 million. A similar house in Mississauga is now at $1.2 million, the highest price posted in the GTA. Coming up, Roberta Battaglia wows them again on America's Got Talent, and the province clamps down again on bars and restaurants. Ahead on the Brampton Now Update. I'm Bruce Marshall, and this is the Brampton Now Update. Brampton tween Roberta Battaglia came away from her star turn on U.S. talent show America's Got Talent last week. Battaglia first gained the notice of show producers with her rendition of Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper's Shallow. Roberta wound through the catalog of great American pop hits, singing songs made famous by artists like Pink. But her final song was a shout-out to home and hometown star Alicia Cara. Battaglia's rendition of Cara's Scars to You're Beautiful, which earned Battaglia a 4th place finish on the show, was her final song. The City of Brampton has launched Skip the Line, a new way to book, reschedule, or cancel appointments online for in-person city services at various city locations across Brampton. Appointments are required before visiting all city facilities. Go to brampton.ca and follow the link. Friday afternoon, the province released this statement with new restrictions. Quote, "Private social gatherings continue to be a significant source of transmission in many local communities, along with outbreak clusters in restaurants, bars, and other food and drink establishments, including strip clubs, with most cases in the 20 to 39-year age group. So bars and restaurants and nightclubs will have a last call of 11 p.m., and strip clubs will be closed indefinitely." In a moment, what's ahead in Brampton this week and the coming week. Plus, my Marshall Rant. We're in this COVID thing for the long haul. That's coming up on the Brampton Now Update. watching Brampton Now Update. I'm Bruce Marshall. This weekend and ahead in Brampton, Brampton Farmers Market is Saturday. Details on the market and protocols at brampton.ca. The City of Brampton Nonprofit Learning Series, Effective Board Governance During Challenging Times, is offered by the Peel Leadership Center next Tuesday. That's September 29th, 10 a.m. to noon, with facilitator San Eng. Go to peelleadershipcenter.org to register. The Journey Neighborhood Center, with 2 Brampton program locations, is opening a thrift store in downtown Brampton. That's happening on this coming Tuesday. Journey Thrift is on Nelson Street near the YMCA. Brampton Music Theatre has a fundraising contest called Catch the Ace. It's at bmtcatchtheace.ca. BMT also continues online training programs on their website, bramptonmusictheatre.com. The Manitoba Métis Federation invites all Canadians to take part in their Journey in the Heart of the Homeland idea competition and help design the future home of the Métis Nation Heritage Centre. The top 10 submissions will receive cash prizes, including a $10,000 grand prize to their first place winner. Visit journeyintheheartofthehomeland.ca for more information. Coming up, my Marshall Rant. A couple of signs this week that we're in this COVID thing for the long haul. That's next on the Brampton Now Update.
Hi, I'm 𝗕𝗿𝗺𝗺, Fire Chief at Brampton Fire.
Are you interested in a rewarding career which offers flexibility, competitive salary, benefits, and an opportunity to make a difference in the community?
Brampton Fire might be just what you're looking for.
Brampton Fire is looking for caring and compassionate people to join our diverse team.
I've been in the fire service for 19 years, and it's been a wonderful experience and an absolute privilege to be with Brampton Fire.
I've been a firefighter for 25 years, and I love being part of a supportive, tight-knit group that helps the Brampton community in its time of need.
Please join us on Tuesday, September 1st at 7 p.m.
for a virtual career information session for members of the Black community. Learn about the diverse career opportunities available to you.
Careers at Brampton Fire are open to everyone. I look forward to seeing you there.
I hope to see you there.
Hope to see you there.
Hope to see you there.
I'm Bruce Marshall, and this is the Marshall Rant. As I went to tape with this show, the province announced re-imposition of restrictions. Likewise, the Chief Medical Officer of Health for Peel has made known his concerns about the way some stats are heading, with the warning that more slippage will require more restrictions. We always think it's going to be over before it's over. We did the same thing 100 years ago. World War I was supposed to be over by Christmas, then next Christmas, and the one after that. But the fact is, this pandemic is nowhere near over. The first wave may have been a warning, but it seems now that the second wave, if not upon us, is roaring to shore. Those masks, we're going to need those for a while. And we'd better get used to the idea that we're finding a new normal. We're not going back to the way things were in so many respects. In other respects, we seem to be charting new ground. The federal government's throne speech this week seemed to indicate a new way economically. Modern monetary theory, or modern money theory, is a new way to look at money and how we use this resource, a way that will include more people. Certainly, part of the upheaval that we see now is the economic status quo butting head. Certainly, part of the upheaval we see now is the economic status quo butting head-to-head with modern monetary theory. For my part, I found this to be an incredibly interesting time to be alive. A lot of people have been blindsided by the fact that this pandemic was dropped on them. But I think it's caused any thinking person to reconsider the life we were leading before. I get the impression that many people are thinking more about leading a life rather than living to work. For those who aren't fond of change, a scary time. I'm sure that's been the root of a lot of our conspiracy theories. So, masks and social distancing are going to continue for some months, it seems. We may continue some of these measures for some years. But I don't think our lives will be less. I think we've been given a wake-up call, and many are waking up to lead a more fulfilling life, truly. What do you think? Leave your comments below or get back to me. I'm Bruce Marshall, and that's it for this week. Please subscribe to the Brampton Now Update channel on YouTube or follow #MarshallMinute on Facebook for lots of Brampton Need to Know that you won't find anywhere else. Your comments and suggestions are always welcome, and if you've got a Brampton story to tell, get in touch with me through the channel you're watching on right now. Stay strong, Brampton. Brampton strong. We're all in this together. I'm Bruce Marshall. Thanks for watching. Brampton Now Update.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.